This is the location of one of the most brutal battles in all of Hungarian history. And no, it wasn't against the Mongols or the Ottomans or the Austrians or in any world war. We're talking about the Ugro Turkic War of the 1880s, one of the most vicious and at times catty arguments in the history of Hungarian academia. Specifically, I visited the Oriental Library of the Hungarian Academy of Sciences, which was built after the Ugro Turkic War, but many of its records are stored there. In this war, Hungarian Orientalists, linguists, public figures of all types were involved in a slap fight that broke free from the halls of academia and left a lasting imprint on Hungarian anthropology and society. It was triggered by a book written by Armin Vambary, probably a figure too fascinating to summarize in a couple sentences, but I'll try. He was a crippled Hungarian Jew from Slovakia who spoke about 20 languages, dropped out of school, then became the first European to travel to many parts of Central Asia disguised as a dervish, who later became an international celebrity, befriended Bram Stoker, and inspired parts of Dracula. He was a giant in Hungary and abroad, but when he wrote A History of the Hungarians, stating that they spoke a Turkic language, of which he spoke like a dozen of, linguists like József Budens and Paul Hunfalvi were furious. On one side of this debate were linguists who thought that Hungarian was Finno-Ugric, whereas Turkic supporters were more poets, archaeologists, explorers. Hard not to make a Virgin versus Chad comparison. And it didn't help that the two main linguists propagating the Finno-Ugric hypothesis were both German, leading to many conspiracy theories that last even today, that the Finno-Ugric classification, now mainstream, is a Habsburg conspiracy to suppress the true Hungarian identity. Gábor Bálint, an explorer and supporter of the Turkic theory, bitterly voiced his hatred for this Budapest gang and the German race and the entire game of Finno-Ugric kinship, which homeless provincial Baltic Germans inflated so that they could become Russian academics. Ultimately, after József Budens' death, Armin Vambary actually did concede that he thought that Hungarian was in fact Finno-Ugric, but to smooth everything out, current scholarship regards many of Vambary's questions and points about Turkic loanwords in Hungarian as more widespread than the Finno-Ugrists had previously thought. And I wanted to take a look at some of the rare documents in the Oriental Library that do a deeper dive on this, but stupidly forgot that I would need a library card and an appointment with the archivist. But I have that now, so I'll be going back in like a week.